Hi everyone, I'm the Rambling Photon, and today I'd like to talk about my thoughts on the red pill and give a little bit of proof of why everybody is an anti-feminist, sort of in a condensed form. So, first, I got to see the red pill last night at a friend's house, and it was actually really interesting because we had sort of people who had been red-pilled or previously red-pilled, and then people who had been, red-pilled more recently. And it was interesting to talk with them about all this sort of Anti-SJW and Kekistani and MRA stuff. Because it's the first time I've gotten to do that really in person, which was a lot of fun. So, my thoughts on the red pill. I'm not sure how somebody who hasn't taken the red pill already will take it, since I've been red pilled, I guess, in that sense, for a long time now, sort of since 2012-ish, 2013 maybe. So I've been following a lot of the people who are in the movie for some time, to the point where I've sort of stopped following some of them. So it was interesting to see them again. I think as a documentary, I enjoyed it. There was a lot of stuff that, I sort of knew was coming, so it's sort of preaching to the choir. What I'll have to do is I'll have to show it to some people who are not haven't already been red-pilled to really get their take. The main complaint that I would have about it, I guess, is that it seemed like the feminists that were interviewed, and this might just be because prominent feminists are idiots or don't know what the hell they're talking about, but the feminists who were interviewed, like when they were presented back to back with the MRAs, they just couldn't hold a candle. It was, the MRAs are saying, oh, well, these are our legitimate issues, and this is what the movement is about. And then they interview the feminist, and the feminist is saying, oh, well, the MRAs just want to do, they just want to continue oppressing women. And we had just heard from the MRAs that that's not what they wanted to do. They were concerned about these things. And I'm not sure, it's one of those #notalls things, right? So, like, a feminist could say, well, yeah, well, my feminism isn't like that. My feminism knows about this stuff and is in favor of men's rights and that sort of thing. But the thing is, like, you're interviewing relatively prominent feminists, and or at least people who are professors and things like that, and they don't know their opposition, and it's kind of sad. And I'm just from a persuasive standpoint, I am far more willing to trust somebody who knows both their side and the other side, the arguments of the other side, than I am to trust somebody who only knows their side of the argument. So in this case, you have the MRAs who are refuting feminists and then also presenting their own arguments, and then you have the feminists who are just flailing about and doing nothing and being complete dipwads. So I don't know how easily you could find a feminist who actually knows the MRA positions and can critique them properly, because I have seen some critiques that I like. They did manage to go sort of one level deeper, which is what you need. So in particular on the case that I'm remembering, and I can't remember where I saw it, so I can't give you a source or anything, but the sort of the argument was that the reason that what men don't get as much custody is because they don't fight for it. Now, how much of that is true? I'm not sure, but it is a potential explanation. Now, it could be that they don't fight for it because the court system has been biased against them so hard that they know that they don't stand a chance, and all the lawyers know it, and so they don't challenge unless they have a really good shot at doing it. So it sort of becomes self-fulfilling, but also potentially raises a point. And I've seen other issues sort of like that, where I think MRAs might take it a little too far. So, for example, if taking studies that compare single fathers to single mothers and saying that, oh, well, single fathers do so much better, I'd have to see the studies and see how they controlled for confounding variables. Because if our system as it currently is set up, and it makes sense that it is set up this way, if you have a group that is sort of the best of the best at being a parent, right? So in order for a father to get custody of the kids, they need to be so much better than the woman that they actually can win in this biased system. Well, if you take all of the best fathers and compare them with sort of all of the average and shitty single mothers, of course the fathers are going to do better. That makes all the sense. Now, if you had a representative sample and some way of getting that in this system, and if the study's properly controlled for that, that would be a different issue. But I'd have to see the studies, and I haven't done my due diligence on that particular topic yet. Okay, so a quick proof as to why everybody is an anti-feminist. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to set up two axioms in some sense. So anti-feminism we're going to define based on the Wikipedia, which is anti-feminism is broadly defined as opposition to some or all forms of feminism. Okay, so we just need opposition to some forms of feminism. Now, the other thing we need is two mutually exclusive forms of feminism. Well, that's actually really easy. We can have trans-exclusionary radical feminism, or TERF, and intersectional feminism, which is sort of not trans-exclusionary, but trans-inclusionary. Okay? So guess what? If you're a feminist, you have to oppose one of these. You cannot support both. Okay? So that means no matter what, any feminist has to oppose some other form of feminism. Okay? If you are a TERF, you oppose the intersectional definition. If you're intersectional, you have to oppose TERFs. Okay? Now, if you're a dictionary feminist, you might oppose sort of the ideological form, right? And I might consider myself a dictionary feminist because I believe that men and women should have equal rights. Cool. But I'm against radical feminism. So I'm an anti-feminist, right? No matter what. Now, the only way to not be an anti-feminist is to not oppose any form of feminism, which basically means you're completely ignorant of it. So the only way to be purely non-anti-feminist is to not know anything about feminism, right? Because once you know about a type of feminism you oppose, then you're an anti-feminist. Congratulations. Okay? So, because all feminists, especially the ones that say not all feminists, well, guess what? That means that they're opposed to a form of feminism because they're opposed to the type of feminism that the not all feminists, the whatever actions are causing them to say not all feminists, they're opposed to that. So they are also anti-feminists. Therefore, everybody's an anti-feminist, including feminists. Okay, so that's just a fun little argument as to why everybody's an anti-feminist, and my review of the red pill. If you like my content, like, comment, subscribe, and all that shit. This has been the Rambling Photon. Hope to catch you next time.